We're going to talk a little bit about BBD. BBD is borderline personality disorder. You can see here that some of you guys might be thinking, is that me? I was wondering the same thing. I was completely wrong. Borderline personality disorder is actually very different than me. Interesting to know. Borderline personality disorder is actually somebody who is basically like a chameleon of society and not in a good way. You're not like a chameleon, like you roll with the punches and you can overcome any challenge and you just fucking learn and you're wise and you're a fucking champion. BP actually develops from somebody like who wants to be a people pleaser, somebody who actually doesn't stand up for themselves, somebody like, oh yeah, it's okay, oh, I don't mind, did you need it, this is somebody who actually is worried about offending the other person to the point where they walk on eggshells, they make a lot of choices that in the end develop a sense of false self, and they're constantly pretending to be somebody else because they're looking to hopefully gain the acceptance and approval from anybody really that they're approaching. This could be their friends, their families, and their lovers. But basically, this person fears being their true, authentic self. And it's not because people are threatening them like the typical narcissist. This is going to be a person who just doesn't feel secure within themselves. They might be somebody who fears being rejected or dumped if they weren't who they really were. So I just want to share that with you. We'll see if he says anything else really quick on the next one, because I'm like, listen to him. It was, yeah. So they go through feelings of rejection, and basically, what he was just saying right here is that these personality traits have developed because of past events where they were rejected. And so naturally, they just began to feel like maybe it was something that they did wrong that made them not good enough for why they didn't receive love, affection, or care. And so what happens is that it's really actually adjusting and altering their brain in a true sense, and it's permanent. And all trauma and mental is permanent. And when we go through any type of mental abuse, your brain starts to dissolve. And the best way that I like to describe it to everybody is think of two peaches on a tree. And we've all went to a fruit tree, any fruit tree, and you just start to look through the best piece of fruit, and you find sometimes that fruit that has the little holes in it, whether it's from the branch or the bugs eating it. And that is a perfect example of what a brain under trauma or drug or alcohol abuse will look like. It basically begins to look like holes, craters like in the moon. And these holes and craters and dips in the brain, they don't actually ever repair. It's non-repairable. So basically what you have that's healthy and whole, all these different functions and actions that the brain would normally be able to take, this person over here who's partied or fucking been under many different circumstances of abuse, they don't have that part of the brain anymore. So they have to actually make up for it. Another thing that develops is when your body has experienced highs and lows of different extremities, you can't basically beat that in the future. And your body doesn't understand whether those were good or bad necessarily. You eventually teach your body, hey, I know you miss, being crazy, and I know you miss this toxic boyfriend. I know that you're hurting right now, but what they were doing to you, for example, that wasn't healthy, things like that. And you teach yourself over time that you are strong and that you're beautiful and that things, that happened to you were for you and not against you, and they were projection or protection. And you feel as though it was rejection. But some people are able to actually find senses of self acceptance and love where these people didn't. They actually began to develop characteristics individually that were different with every person. Every person that these people meet, they act different around. And you're going to find that this person basically, they might be the person who doesn't want more than one friend hanging out at the same time. I called him the one friend man friend, but I noticed a while back that a lot of those people would make complaints that actually deserved friends sticking up for them. And they might say things like, no, 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 don't talk to them about it. They'll get mad. You might have felt like some things that these people go through deserved, for you to be there. And basically, I realized that what goes on with these people is they don't want you to say anything because a lot of times there's a lot of untruth involved in the circumstance. Whether or not you being there with them could expose the way that they truly are with you, which is different than what this person knows, or even more so, because this person is fake over there, this person could have brought you a whole fake story too. And a lot of times also, these people have actually said negative things about you to the other person. And so this person, they can't afford intermix because they are different and fake in every area. And yes, these people are in pain. And yes, their pain is valid. But there's a lot of manipulation going on with somebody who has BPD because basically they just are not somebody who even knows who they really are. This person might be somebody who can eventually take medicine and be like, I'm BPD. But even up until today, I didn't even realize what that meant. BPD is a big problem in a way with respect because if you can't trust who's right in front of your face and who they say that they are, you need to be aware of what BPD is. And that's what I wanted to share with you today. And if you're somebody who might have thought, am I somebody who has BPD? I don't know. Are you one of the blunt ones that say fucking too much and need to tone it down? Or are you one of the quiet ones that pretends like you don't have the balls to speak?